rest of the evil cabal that runs the world.
First stage was isolation. Disable their communication and transportation. Make the target as deaf, dumb, and paralyzed as possible, setting them up for the second stage. Synchronized chaos. Terrorize them with covert attacks and misinformation. Overwhelming their defense capabilities, leaving their weapon systems vulnerable to extremists in their own military. Without a clear enemy or motive, people would start turning on each other. Done successfully, the third stage would happen on its own.
What's the third stage?
Death to America.
States have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America.
The so-called Western forces of Texas and California
Have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
They're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol.
Every instinct in me says this is death.
Blooded.
Every time I survived a war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
Thanks for watching Odyssey Media. Nicodramus here. Psychological operations are happening now all around the country, preparing the nation for the last steps of chaos. We are all bioweapon veterans. After 2020 and the bioweapon unleashed, the economy and the people are ready for the downfall and the last step of control. The FEMA camps are ready. You won't have food, you won't have shelter, you won't have the means to survive. You'll have no choice but to go to a government camp. There may be a bioweapon, there may be war, there may be economic implosion. And the last steps are all happening now. So after this destruction, they can have full control with robotic animation, with robots in the street. They will unleash the future upon us as the world is being destroyed. They have everything ready. All of the enemies with China ready. Since they cannot control China, they have no choice but to destroy China with us as well. Thanks for watching Odyssey Media, Nicodramus.
Psychological operations in the Army in 2003, it was illegal to run psychological operations on the American people. Well, Obama changed that in 2014. Now it's perfectly legal to run PSYOP on the American people. You are living in a multifaceted psychological operations exercise.
I mean, you ever heard of the BRAIN Initiative signed by President Obama? Check it out. You can look this up easily. So yeah, they've experimented with this technology on people that never gave their consent.
Can I just ask, if China can hit us, surely we can hit them, can't we?
Absolutely. We have extensive cyber capabilities, and so we definitely have the means to attack China in the way that they are attacking us. Do we have the will to do it? We'll see. But in terms of capabilities, absolutely.
Do we ever show them what we can do? A little demonstration just to say, hey, don't get out of hand? Do we ever do that?
You know, I don't think we announce it, and we're probably smart not to, but I would imagine that we are and have in the past given them a little taste of their own medicine, and if we're not, we sure as heck need to be doing so, especially now after the reports that we've been hearing in terms of what they're doing to us.
Let me just continue on this theme. Is an attack on a power plant in America an act of war by China?
Well, it's certainly an act of warfare. I think that what they're doing, what China's doing, is they're setting these kind of cyber time bombs in our critical infrastructure, power plants, utilities, that they're looking to set off in whenever they please, really, but certainly in the event of a conflict with Taiwan. And the effect of these time bombs would be to incapacitate our infrastructure. And I think if we found physical bombs in our physical infrastructure, we would certainly call that an act of war. And I think that this level of seriousness needs to come here as well.
Is hacking into our infrastructure a preparation for war?
I think that it is a preparation for war. I think what China did in the past was more commercial type espionage. They were stealing our company's technology, intellectual property, etc. But now they've certainly escalated to a point where they are going after our defense systems, our critical infrastructure. And again, they're setting these cyber time bombs, lying in wait, and I think in preparation for potential conflict, certainly with us in Taiwan.
Lee, that sounds real ominous to me. Thanks for joining us, sir. We always appreciate it.
The preparation through propaganda and fiction, and also real-time doings politically, is all syncing together, preparing everybody against everybody, when we should all be unifying against the monetary fraud that the Federal Reserve is conducting and has led to us. Because if we weren't in this financial monopoly, none of this would be happening. None of the financing to China, and China would not even have been this wrong through the corrupt systems. And now all of the forces of Earth will collide. Get ready.
Joke back to him. Oh yeah.
What is the truth? I came to a more accurate realization. I fucking hate people.
Bitch, I'm really out for blood this time, look. Success is the best revenge. Ready for war, I see the option, I'm up in the score. I catch a body, then jump in the course. Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Woo! Lot of new money in my head. Go on, tell a friend, tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
Leave the world behind.
Television will cease their programs during this alert. This is cyber backup. We are seeing massive
The fallout from the ongoing cyber attack has led to a catastrophic environmental disaster in the south, impacting animal migration patterns. There is a public alert.
sufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
I want this to sink in. We are not living in normal times. We're living in the year 2020. But I'll tell you this, we're living in such an incredibly amazing and thought-provoking and dangerous time. But there was a film made in the early 1990s that described exactly what's happening, but it condensed it down to something very simple, something that happened very quickly. Because a real weapon takes its time, so you never know it hit you. That way you don't see it creeping up. Because we knew this was coming down. We knew what they were planning. And now we're sure of it. They are going to scuttle the whole country and bring it down. This is a doomsday scenario. By the way, you know what the Pentagon back in the 70s called this satellite grid hooked into the internet, tracking everything you do? They called it Skynet. And we cannot sit here and let them do it. Because this country is 2 minutes from destruction, total annihilation, and war in the streets, and everything we've built flushed down the toilet. There is red fire in the sky that tried to exterminate humanity, the technology that they have deployed and developed to replace us. So we're accepting Skynet and the AI system in. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Resistance is victory. That simple initial decision to stand up and to get involved and to take action is the most important decision you can make in the fight for freedom and human dignity. Do you understand that, Soros? You think you're going to have this fight and have robots win it? No! I say to you, your technocracy is dead on arrival. We are in charge of the planet.
John. Here, you ruined this. Sure you wrote it big enough?
Yes, old King George should be able to see that.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, a decent respect requires that they declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men are created equal.
That they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to establish new government. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, do and with the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare
that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved of all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved. In the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Jones. This video is 3 years old. Here it is. This is an emergency transmission from deep in the heart of Texas, the U.S. resistance against a global corporate combine empowered and funded by Communist China, allied with the big mega banks that set up Communist China in 1949. The Communist Chinese have taken control of U.S. telecommunications infrastructure. The Communist Chinese have taken control of Hollywood. The Communist Chinese have taken control of the main universities. This is all confirmed. This is not a drill. Big tech in Silicon Valley is almost completely run by the Communist Chinese government. They've officially become state-run. Apple, 100%. Google is now making the transition and announcing a merger and total worldwide censorship. They are now beta testing using me as the straw man, a demonized version of Alex Jones, to do that. This is happening. This is not like the other probes before that were meant to get you used to probes and censorship, thinking you would adapt to censorship by just putting up with it. Now this attack is thousands and thousands and thousands of times the magnitude of all previous attacks. This is a titrated dose, reverse psychological warfare operation using adapt and overcome, subversion, paradigm manipulation. In layman's terms, they are manipulating the fact that we adapt to being oppressed. We adapt to being pressed at the low dosages of oppression. And now when the megaton hits us of the total takeover, we try to adapt to the poison infusion instead of not knowing it's a lethal dose if we accept the dose. Total Internet of Things, integration, global social score, complete command and control system. It is the virtual reality AI weapon system now attacking the United States with traitors inside the major security agencies, blocking Trump's resistance of the program and attempting to stop us from removing the tentacles of the Chi-Com/Big Tech Banking Combine emergency situation. I have been chosen for destruction because I brought you this information and have been ramming it out as much as I can. They want to double use me, as they always do in any complex system of mathematical deception, where every angle of my good is turned against us. So they take what I've said, being sincere, build me into an insincere person in the straw man. I'm a person that cares about life and children and is against these wars. And so they make me a herder of children. And then they build me into this lie to then set the distraction while they're actually censoring all of you to make a debate about Alex Jones. So even if I didn't sell out to them, they now use me as an archetype to serve them by being the main distraction. I have now been captured by the enemy in the information warfare fulcrum and is being used against you. Only your full understanding of this key will break you free